they're not clicking anymore. For a little while in the beginning of the group, they were cracking my knuckles, but they don't crack anymore. I can never crack my knuckles, and then all of a sudden they were cracking for a little while, and now they stopped again. Perfection. Hello, how are you? Perfection. Let's talk about perfection because I don't know if you're anything like me, but listen to this scenario and see if this sounds familiar to you. I I want to make this thing. I have this really cool idea in my head, and I'm really excited to do it. And I start to do it, and man, does this suck! I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it later. Anyway, that's kind of a scenario that I find myself in a lot, and I'm gonna explain that a little bit more. But I'm just curious. Let that sit for a moment and see if that fits you. If it doesn't, or if you have a different scenario, let me know, and we'll talk about it in the live when I get to the comments. But a lot of times as artists, we want to improve and we want to get better and we want to learn new techniques and new skills and maybe switch to different mediums and whatever. And I think all of that is great. That's not what this is about. Getting it better and improving as an artist comes through time and through practice, and we can all aspire to do that, certainly. And we can all support each other in that effort. And what I'm talking about, though, is that perfection that sort of leaves you wishing that you were more, or not really even that, because I think if you can imagine it as perfect, then it is perfect. I think what happens is that sometimes in the execution of it, we're so hard on ourselves that it's not coming out as perfectly as we imagined it. At least that's what happens to me. I learned something about myself today. I had a call with my coach. His name is Landon. He's a member of this group. And he and I speak every Friday afternoon. And I realized something today because we were talking about how I'm really good at like gearing up for new things. But I'm not. Sometimes I'm lacking in pulling the trigger and executing it. And I was really wondering about this. Here's what I came up with. It's like I get this idea in my head about a new TV show or a new anything new, right? And immediately I could rebrand myself and I could build a website to describe it, and I can make a video telling about like what I'm going to make. But when it comes to actually making the thing, I find what happens is that I have this idea of perfection in my head because the idea is perfect. The idea is amazing to me. But as soon as I start to try to make it into something that I can go like, here, look at that. It's not, right? It's not perfect anymore. If I'm recording something, the recording is off, or there was a sound, or if I'm singing a song, I can't get this one part the way that I envisioned it, so I change the harmony a little bit so that I can sing it. Or I have this idea for what the background music is like, but I can't find anything that fits it, and it's just not coming together right. Or I have this idea for a video and this message that I want to get across and this emotion that I want to create in the eyes of in the hearts of the viewers, but it's like 99% there or 80% there, or I can't find the right clip or whatever. Forget this. I'm not doing this. Right? Is what I feel like sometimes. Does that ever happen to you? You're probably telling me I'm crazy, and I'll read that later in the comments. Or you're agreeing with me. I'm not sure yet, because this is why I don't read the comments until the end. But, it's like the other part that I do, especially with music, because music has gotten to the point where, if I write a rock song and I record it and want to share it with people, everybody knows what rock songs sound like when they're listening to their favorite bands that are on labels and stuff. They're not producing it in this room. My ceiling is right here. It's like this is a basement. You know what I mean? I've got what I've got, and I make what I can with what I have. But I don't have a $50 million budget to do a 12-song album with the greatest rock producers in history. I'm doing it by myself in Logic on my Mac, and that's about it. So when I know what the heck is that? My cat is going crazy. It's like, can you hear that? When see, this was going to be a perfect live, but now my cat just had to ruin. Thanks. Anyway, so I know what these perfect rock songs sound like, and I can't quite get mine to sound on that level. And so then what happens? 10 years goes by that I don't release them. And it's like, why do we do that? I don't know that everybody does that. It's not that I haven't done a thing in 10 years. I have, but it hasn't always been like the thing, because the thing, I'm so in love with the idea that if I can't get it that perfect, I'll try tomorrow. Things are good enough with this. I'll just do this for now. And the other thing is that maybe that's not your story. Maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. Kind of like what I was just saying with like rock bands and stuff like that. To me personally, it's more like I know what I want it to sound like and I can't get it there. That's the big thing for me. But I know for a lot of people, you can look at other artists and just think like, oh my God, they're so much better than me, and maybe start suffering from some sort of imposter syndrome where you're just like, I'm not good enough for this, or I can't do this. And I think all of that is just wrong. I don't think that there's a level of art that is like above this level is good and below this level is bad, because anyone can put themselves in the wrong category. And first of all, I don't think that there is a level. I think that art is art, and it's completely subjective, and it's in the eye of the beholder or the ear of the listener, or whatever. And yeah, it's like we just compare ourselves to the wrong things. But I think that if we can compare ourselves to the last thing we made, maybe, it's like I definitely want to improve. And if I listen to a song that I'm working on today compared to one I'm working on 5 or 10 years ago, there is marked improvement in the quality of the recording, in the quality of the engineering and production, in the quality of the writing. I've just gotten better and better and better. And I think that I need to be kinder to myself, that I have this vision of perfection, because I think that vision is tapped into my soul somehow, tapped into like the spirit of the universe. And I can sense the most amazing thing. And then I go, oh, let me make that as this 3-dimensional meat suit. Let me go make it. And I'm like, I can't get it, and then I get so frustrated by that I stop. And I don't think we should do that. So I'm gonna pause this one here and come to your comments. Let's say hello to everybody. Keep the comments coming, and I'll just catch up. Hugs. I said hello to all you people. Amy's here. Hi, Amy. I think I said hello to you. And Mikey's here for once. Good. Amy says Saturday. I don't know what that means. Mikey, nope. I don't know what I asked you. So, by the way, if you're new here, by the time I get to your comments, I have no idea what you're talking about anymore. So, a little context in the comments goes a long way. Deb says, hi Deb, I forgot if I said hello to you. I start lots of things and don't finish them. Yeah, I think that's the thing, and I'm not one of those artists that can just churn stuff out. I'm such a perfectionist. It's so annoying. I wish that I could, but I can't. And but I can finish what I start. I don't have to churn out a lot of work, but I can finish the work that I begin. And I'm actually proud of myself, because I've started this group and I'm continuing it and I'm going with it, and here's the thing about that, right? It's like, if I say to myself, I want to make a song, but the song's not coming out great, I don't have anyone to answer to. Nobody is hounding me for the song. Nobody paid me for the song. Nobody's waiting for the song. I don't have a producer or an engineer that I hired that's sitting there going, where's the song, right? The listeners nobody cares, right? And I certainly didn't gather everyone around me to say, hey, listen to the song, and then I don't have a song. But a group like this is a completely different thing. It's like I said, hey, gather around, let's have this group. And everyone said, okay, let's go. And then I'm just like, it's not as perfect as I want, so I'm leaving. You'd be like, what an idiot. Right? So I show up and I do the live every day. And I have days where I feel like these lives are on fire for me. And I have other days where I get off of them, and my wife asked me how to go. And I'm like, it was all right. It was a live. And some of them are okay, and some of them are better than others from my perspective. And it's really funny because I've had a couple of them recently. Well, they've all been recent. We've been doing this for a month. I've had a few of them, one or two, where I felt like, man, that I stunk up the place with that one. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. I was all over the place. And then I'd go back and read some of the comments and read some of the replay comments from people like later on that night or the next day, just saying wonderful things. I was like, I'm just so hard on myself, and I think we all are. Not hard on me. We're all hard on ourselves, You're hard on you, and I'm hard on me. And Marcia, good evening, Bobby. Hello, Marcia. How are you? Nice to see you. Mikey says, sitcom, subtly laughing about the man's world. This is a sitcom. I am a sitcom. I'm not sure what you mean. But yeah, well, my life is a sitcom. I went upstairs earlier to help my son get dinner ready. My wife is out with my daughter, and I was getting my son dinner, and then I was going to come and get the live ready. And somebody left the back door wide open. I walked up the stairs, and there's the door wide open. And we have two cats that are indoor cats, and they were outside. So I had to round up cats. You've heard of herding cats? That's what I was doing. So imagine me running around trying to get these two cats in the house. That was not easy. And so I got one of them in, but then I had to leave the door open so I could chase the other one in. But I couldn't leave the door open and leave the other one in there by himself because he'd come back out. It was a sitcom. So if that's what you were talking about, yeah. If not, then I made that story up for no reason. Well, I didn't make it happen. Anyway, Mikey, the other Mikey says, sometimes it's the imperfection, the happy accident that creates the magic moment that connects with the humanity of the listener observer. I'm glad you said that, because here's the other part to perfection. That when I can get in the zone of making a song or making a video or something, I've never been that kind of artist that like sketches everything out and figures everything out. When I went to design school, we learned how to do all these thumbnails and stuff for everything. My daughter is getting ready to go to FIT, and for her portfolio review, they want to see like finished art, but they also want to see her sketchbook to see like, how did you get to this finished art? And she and I are not like that. Like, I don't have a sketchbook. I make a video. I don't make a storyboard. I don't do any of that stuff. I have a script. I have the idea in my head of what's perfect. And I sit down and I start linearly editing. And I've learned that by doing it that way, it takes less time, number one. Number two is that the happy accidents happen all the time. I'll start putting clips together and things will just magically land on the beat of the song that I have as the music bed. And this happens all the time. Like all the time. Like I expect it to happen. So, I was saying that I get to this point where it's like, oh, it's not perfect, and I throw it out at it. And it could sound like I never do anything, but that's when I'm feeling that way, when I'm being such a perfectionist that I'm so hard on myself that I can't get it done. But other times I am able to just sort of let it go and go with the flow of it and just watch as it comes together. And it's perfect, right? It really, really is. And Ray says, sometimes our crap is someone else's perfect, and we have to learn to live with it sometimes. Yeah, it really is. Sometimes I could be focused on one of my lives thinking like, oh, I flubbed what I wanted to say. I left that part out, or I went off on some weird tangent or something like that. And I could beat myself up about it all night long. And then I could read somebody's comment where they're like, wow, this really touched me, and I hadn't thought of it that way before. And it was like, just because I didn't mean to say that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Or just because I forgot some other thing that I wanted to say doesn't mean that the thing I did say was lame, But we harp on the weirdest things. It's like, oh, it needed to be 100, but it was only 99.5, And it's like, well, who cares? On a scale of 1 to 100. Right? Mikey T says, you're not just connected, man. You're a child of light. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Deb, yes, guilty of comparison. Comparisonitis. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, comparison is a toughie. It really, really is. Blake says, just do it. Get out there. Practice as you go. Yeah, Blake, totally. You have to just keep going, because if you don't, then you don't. My brain went sideways on that one, sorry. Amy says, it's always fun when you don't remember what our comments are about. It is fun. I know that happens, and it's kind of like it's like a feature that I built into these. It's because I think it's funny when I have no clue what you're talking about, right? And my sister is here, Laura. Hi. Hello. Hi. How are you? And hey, if you could change your name on Facebook to Sister Donahue, that would really be great. I would appreciate that. Go do that. Thank you. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, my sister Laura and my wife is also Laura Donahue. They have the same name, so it's confusing at times and not good if I send a text to the wrong one. So on my phone, my sister is Sister. No more confusion. Kelly says perfectionism. Hi Kelly, how are you? I don't think you were here earlier, and I'm saying, how do you know? Hello. Kelly says, perfectionism stops me in my tracks a lot, but I am learning to embrace practicing and stop demanding mastery from things I am beginning. Oh, especially in the beginning, right? Oh, I see that. I see this a lot. Oh, I am big on this. When I'm starting a new thing, like when I decided to learn animation and then I decided to learn video editing, the both of them. Oh man, just the fact that I wasn't a pro at it within 2 hours was so annoying to me. I can't stand the learning curve of things. Yeah, and you can be really hard on yourself and give up, but there's definitely a learning curve. Kelly adds, happy accidents to me are synchronicities that encourage me on my way. Yep, absolutely, that's it. I call them serendipity, synchronicities, coincidences, all of those words. Laura's laughing at me. I know what that's about, the name thing. And you're still Laura. You didn't change your name yet. Ray, so far it's perfect. Oh, thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. And here's my wife. Both Laura's on at the same time. Luckily, I get pictures too, and my wife has her maiden name in there too. Hey, hello. It might even be my daughter. I don't know, because they're together. Anyway, hey, if I end it right now, my wife gets the booby prize, so that'll be fun. I don't have to mail it to anybody. And all right, guys, I guess that's it. I think this one was pretty perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one an A++, and we will leave it at that. That's what it is. It's perfect. Thanks very much, everybody. I thank you for your time. And as usual, oh, by the way, while everyone's here, no, it's me. Okay, cool. Does anybody have? Tomorrow's the so-and-so is awesome day, and I'm not sure who to do. And if you have a favorite that you want me to do, send me a message or post it somewhere, so I don't care. Or comment here. But I'm trying to think of one. I have one that's on my list to do later on, but they're too close to ones I've already done. So I want to do somebody different. I've already done a singer and a classical painter and Carol Burnett, a television comedian. I'm trying to think of like maybe some kind of a dancer or some other performing artist or a sculptor or somebody that's outside of my realm that I need to do a little bit of work on. But I don't know. If you know anybody, let me know. If you don't worry about it. I'll find something. But I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And Brandy's here live. Haha, we'll replay. Brandy stole the booby prize from my wife. Thank you, Brandy. I'll be in trouble for that one. And I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.